This trader turned just $33,000 into more than $1.5 million. Someone made his 4-year salary in just 4 hours. And we have a trader who in just 2 weeks turned 25k into 362k. And we are starting off with an insane gain by Jura Juric. He YOLO'd it all and made his 4-year salary in just 4 hours. As we can see, he's up around 30% or $78,000. And he was up by so much because as he said, he went all in on SPY put options, with a striking price at $356 and an expiration date on October the 10th of 2022. Just so you guys understand the insanity of this YOLO, this chat makes around $20,000 a year, and he decided to YOLO $256,000, which is essentially 13 years of him working and saving every penny he got. Although he didn't actually save money for 13 years. He got that money from investing, savings and inheritance money. But still, if he lost it, he would have to work for a long time to make it back. And why he makes so little? Well, he's a doctor, but in Eastern Europe. His insane YOLO even went up to 90k of profit, but he got greedy pushing to 100k, and once it dropped down to 75k he sold. Do you think he stopped there? No, like most of WallStreetBets traders, he decided to YOLO again. On September the 27th he opened 2 trades. His first trade was 350 put options on Apple, with a striking price at $140 and an expiration date on November the 18th of 2022. His premise was that the market is bearish and Apple is the last man standing, so he bet that it will tank as well. And his second trade was 300 put options on SPY, with a striking price at $355 and an expiration date on October the 10th of 2022, with a premise that SPY will tank rather fast. Well, 2 days later he sold his Apple puts for a nice profit of 43% or $72,800. But unfortunately his SPY puts were an 8-year-old and SPY was a Catholic priest, so he was down by a little more than 50% or $91,200. But he didn't sell, and at one point his position even rose to negative 16k, but then on Thursday it closed at negative 54k. The funniest part is that he even set himself some rules before entering this trade. He would take a max loss of 37.5k, but since he obviously didn't follow through, he still has a week to maybe get in profit. And if you're not already subscribed, it would mean a ton to me if you just press that button. It's free and you'll help me out a lot in reaching my goal of 300 subscribers. Thank you. Next up we have an insane loss by Andrew Mojo21. He really f***ed up. His dad passed away and left him $100,000. He decided to trade it this week on the way down. He hammered puts on Wednesday and swung them. Woke up to the Bank of England bailing the market out and the S&P 500 rose 2% that day. He realized losses and now he has, as we can see, he is down by 79% or $79,000. Out of the positions he still has open, he's down by 22k on SPX and 1.7k on QQQ, so market was going down. He took puts with an expiration day on Friday and swung them overnight. Then Bank of England purchased tons of bonds, which stabilized the markets. He saw more upside, so he cut losses before he had nothing. He luckily took the remaining cash out so he wouldn't chase. He was supposed to be making a long-term portfolio as the market went down and had a whole strategy to buy on the way down. But like most traders on WallStreetBets, he got carried away with options and lost. So he kept chasing and chasing. I gathered that in his opinion the market will continue to tank, even though it's at its yearly lows. But why, just why he had to buy options with pretty much 2 days till expiry? You know you can buy longer dated puts, right? The man gets 100k, the opportunity of a lifetime to start building his life up with money that works for him, and he YOLOs on FDs. He had the money to do anything and he goes all in on black. Truly beautiful. He's definitely a gambler. OP doesn't have the ability to see that far into the future. Sorry to kick you while you're down, but don't forget you may owe taxes on the inheritance depending on where you live. This comment just made me realize that this loss is even worse than I thought. Another local man throws away a fortune in exchange for some funny internet points. Your dad would be pissed. He would beat the living shit out of me. Dude, he died twice. That's why you should spend all your money instead of giving it to your kids. My kids are getting an IOU and a picture of my balls after seeing this. Anyway, next up we have one of the biggest gains I have ever seen. Trader by the name of Important Theory 387 is just today up by 30% or $351,429.88. But here is where things get really crazy. In the past 6 months he's up by 4400% or $1,478,068.73, and his whole account is worth a little more than $1.5 million, which means that in just 6 months he turned just $33,789.50 into more than $1.5 million. That's almost the same as making $250,000 per month. I mean, he literally multiplied his money 44 times, and his chart looks quite consistent, but I wonder how he dealt with some huge losses along the way, like this huge drop from 900k to 600k, which happened because of puts on Tesla the week after Labor Day. He made a lot of money intraday on out of the money puts on IWM, SPY, Meta, Tesla and Nvidia. Now a lot of people doubted his huge gain, so in response he posted a screen recording of his positions. We can see him shorting Ford, buying FAZ, shorting GM, NVAX, Nvidia, Roblox, RH, Tesla, and he also bought puts on Apple, AMD, Amazon, Citigroup, FedEx, IWM, Lulu, Meta, Microsoft and many more stocks. He also shared a really interesting story. In 1995 I got a job in Wall Street. I saw all their shenanigans. In 2007 I quit to become a dedicated short seller. In 2008 to 9 I turned 100k into $5 million shorting financials. I shorted all the banks including Lehman and Fannie, all the way down to $0. When Bernanke's Fed began QE1, I remained bearish. Stocks took off through the roof and I lost everything. So I closed my account and I got a job. I worked hard, saved money, found a good woman, got married and had 2 kids. In 2022, as soon as J. Powell's Fed got serious about QT, I reopened my account and looked for shorts. The last 14 years of easy money have been an illusion. Financial assets are headed south. I trade daily with a bearish bias, trying hard not to get short squeezed, which is easier said than done. Yes, there are bad days. You need to hang in there, protect your profits and never let your losses grow too large. This is truly one of the biggest gains I have ever seen. Huge respects to him. I just hope that he won't lose it all like he did in 2009. Next we have a huge loss by the Logs B. He lost his life savings or $27,375.50 and is left with $16.29. Why did he lose so much money? Well, he bought options on E-mini S&P 500 futures. He specifically bought one call option with a striking price at $3,690 and an expiration date in September of 2022, and 41 call options with a striking price at $3,675 and the same expiration date. And it looks like he lost it all in a day. Anyway, he would do it again, because it could have been a big play, maybe close to 100k, and this thinking is probably the reason why he lost this money in the first place. But at the same time I still don't get it. Why would you just YOLO your life savings on some weekly calls in a stock market that has been falling for most of the year? You can call it life losses now. Next we have another insane gain. Trader by the name of Grucci Slide 6197 turned just 25k into 362k gain in just 2 weeks. All luck and no skills. Back to cash now. So he multiplied his money more than 14 times because he bought put options on low with a striking price at $190 and an expiration day on October the 21st, and because he bought puts on SPY with a striking price at $370 and an expiration date on September the 30th. He luckily already pulled out 200k and SPY puts already expired, so maybe he secured all of his profits, but as good as it seems, he's actually down for the year. On this account he's down by $421,713.30, with most losses coming from SPY, COUR, GME and Apple. These are all realized losses and 90% of these trades were as expected options. He's been a bear all year and was up by $500,000 short shortly after the Russian invasion of Ukraine. But he stayed a bear and got destroyed up until the last CPI reading. And these realized gains are probably the reason why his loss on SPY is larger than his total year-to-date loss. But with this recent gain, he has already recovered most of his losses, and hopefully he can recover the rest of them. And last but not least, we have a reminder that uninstalling the app doesn't work. The IRS just sent him a letter and he has to pay $5,284.42 before October the 7th. He made big gains in 2021 but lost all and more in 2022, so he couldn't afford to pay his taxes. He lost around 70% or $48,567.43 because he bought Robinhood shares, and right now he's left with around 21k. Just put return to sender, works every time. If you want to see how this trader turned just $3,000 into $33,000 in just 30 minutes, click on the video that just popped up. And if that is not enough, smash the subscribe button as you'll help me out a lot in reaching my goal of 300 subscribers by the end of this month. If you have any questions or recommendations, leave them in the comments down below, and thanks for watching.